So in a way, I think of this when we tune into the ether element, it's a way of taking a pause, and I'm just doing that right now for myself. I feel, my own little bit of activation with having a new group, a little larger group, and managing different pieces. So I'm regulating myself right now. I'm just slowing my own pace down. Like I'm putting the brakes on here. So I want you to notice in your own field and your own sense of the energy, how your own nervous system resonates with that. You might start to feel a little more too, because I'm kind of holding the space here for the class. So this is also what you're going to be doing as practitioners. That your own self-regulation, your own pacing is gonna set the tone for the holding field for the client. And especially if you have someone who comes in who's really dysregulated, maybe they've had trauma or they're just having a really stressful day. There's maybe a lot of emotion, or they're feeling, off balance. You're sort of holding the center line of balance that they're going to come in resonance with. If you're all over the place too, then we just have two people all over the place. Generally, if clients come in, I try to meet them at the pacing that they're at. I try to sense into if they're kind of up here, I may kind of meet them up there, and and then gradually help them kind of come into their center. If they're down here, I might try to meet them at that vibration, and gradually help them pick them up to the center. I'm not like manipulative about it. It becomes kind of second nature after a while, but just to tune into what's the vibration or energy that you're sensing from the person. Often it's reflected in their speed of, their gesture, their speed, their tone of voice. And we're going to do some exercises with that too in the training to kind of help you tune into that a little more. But the ether is sort of like a period, it's punctuation. And as you slow down or you stop, you give yourself space. Okay, so that's the space we're talking about here. And we're going to talk about how to do this through touch as well. And this is, of course, the sattvic touches when we pause and hold. And when we have space to integrate. There's space to realign and reattune with how am I? What's going on here? And in some sense, every polarity session is a orientation to the ether element, to giving ourselves some space. This is supposed to be a period with some parentheses. You probably got that, but but it also is kind of indicative of the ether element too, because it returns us to our center. If this were like a chakra or an energy center, it both orients us to the center and to the field, so the space and the borders of that particular energy system. So it's an opportunity to rest and realign, realign with our core and our purpose. So we're not going to do a lot today. We're going to, this is kind of about getting out of doing. And I put this on here as a reminder for myself primarily, that like to really sink into and get a sense of the ether element, it's about not doing, coming out of doing and coming into being. And every time we kind of slow down or we take a pause, that's what we're getting. So I like this little saying, don't just do something, sit there. I don't know if you guys have heard this one before. Of course, we're used to saying, don't just do something. Don't just sit there, do something. But this is sort of the opposite, that sometimes the answer to our problems is to wait, to not do anything, non-doing,